What's up, everyone? This is Matt. The guy awkwardly placed next to me because I don't have a 5-man layout for this type of show is Tim.
Hey!
The guy below me is OP.
Yeah, I'm still up there.
The guy below him is Dave. And then the guy in the giant box on your left is Dan. And he's in that big box for a reason, and we're going to tell you here in a minute. But you are watching Game Punch for Saturday, August 8th. And tonight we are going to... Actually, Dan is going to give us a tutorial of a game called Dice Masters. Is that the right name? Dice Masters?
Yes.
And it's basically a dice game
Way to elaborate on that.
slash
Yes.
collectible card game.
Yes.
So it's the best of both worlds for you, for the four of you nerds who like collectible card games, and me who grew up slinging dice. It's kind of a mix of all that.
In the schoolyard.
He never did that at all.
Yeah.
So Dan's been buying this stuff up, and he's got
I actually bought out the town of Champaign.
That's right.
They no longer have any left in town.
That's why Dave can't find any.
So
Jerk.
it was on what was it? I heard it on the morning stream, Frog Peanut Studios, with Scott Johnson and Brian Ibbett.
Did you say Frog Penis Studios?
Frog Pants. It's okay. Dave's still smelling burnt toast. We're keeping an eye on him. We got him.
That's a different
watch.
podcast network.
We're going to have a CT later.
I need some aspirin.
We've already called the ambulance. It's going to be okay. So, Frog Fans, they were talking about it. It was him and Mike.
Mike Schramm?
Something Schleicher. The guy
Steven
from,
Schleicher. Steven
he's from-
Schleicher.
Yes, thank you for Major Spoilers.
Yeah, Major Spoilers.
So they were talking about Nerdtacular, and he told Brian to bring his Dice Master stuff with him so they could play against each other. And I was like, that sounds kind of cool. And they were talking about, one had DC, one had Marvel. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. We can play against each other. It doesn't matter. I was like, okay, cool. So I started looking it up from there. And it's actually a really cool collectible thing that I probably never should have got into because I spend too much money on it.
It's like magic.
Dice Masters is kind of a think magic as a deck building game, but you use dice as your attacks as well. So each character or power is associated with dice as well. So just to show you some of the cards, these are all from DC. They're the ones I like the most, so I've bought a crap ton of them.
But they have like Marvel and D&D and other stuff too, right?
Mm-hmm. So actually, let me show you one where I actually have the dice.
And these are made by WizKids, is that right?
Correct.
Yes,
makes,
WizKids
Hero
makes
Clicks?
these. I'm sorry, yes. So here we go. So these are what come in the booster packs. Each booster pack comes with 2 cards and 2 dice. The starter
$1.
decks. Yes.
Yeah,
they're 99 cents for Amazon has them for 79 cents. They have Yu-Gi-Oh!, D&D, DC, Marvel, multiple sets of Marvel, and they're all interchangeable and playable together. You're building a team of 4 to 8 heroes with 2 powers, and then you build that team out using the dice that you have. So here is a rare Harley Quinn right there.
Oh, nice.
You got that in a pack.
Yeah, so that is really nice artwork, first of all.
Yeah, the artwork
it's done really well.
is really good.
And at the bottom, you see there is
There we go.
6
There we go.
die that are listed here. So these right here, the first 3, the masks, this, and this, are energy markers. And then the last 3 are 3 levels of the hero itself. And right above it is a max number of how many die you can have in the game. And then she also has a special power that she has that allows these abilities. There could be global abilities. There could be specific things have to be met before the ability can be used, things like that. She costs 4 energy to bring out, and one of them has to be at least 1 mask to be able to place on the board. So as long as you throw die, you have 1 mask, and all of it equals up to 4 between all the energy, you can pull 1 die off her card and bring it into the game. So that's Harley. Like another one here. One of Matt's faves.
Word.
Green Lantern there. Same thing. He's got the 6 die layout of what the dice look like, the max number, his power, and then, of course, him there. And then I also ended up gotten, wow, that was the worst sentence in the world.
We're also drinking cold beer tonight, ladies and gentlemen, so.
I also, out of all the ones I've bought so far, I was able to pull a super rare, which is Black Canary.
Nice.
Oh,
there.
nice.
Yeah, and you can tell they're rares by you can't really tell in this, but there is a red line running across the top of the die there.
I see that.
That shows that it is a super rare. The rare ones have a yellow line, and I know that's really hard to see, but there's a yellow line that's there. So you know by their rarity by that. So each pack comes with at least 2 cards of varying rareness and 2 die. So that's the cards. You have your superpower, like Black Canary here. Her power, she only takes 3 to buy in, and a fist, she needs 1 fist energy to be able to come in. When Black Canary attacks, you may pay 1 extra lightning energy to prevent a target character from blocking this turn. So if somebody chooses to block against her, you can stop that by using her power if you have the extra energy sitting there. So we showed the heroes. I'll show you some of the die now. Each hero, specifically like I showed you Harley Quinn, these are her die right here. So it's got a little picture, little Joker face there. And then on the sides of the die, and this is going to be really hard to see, but there are
They're
numbers.
upside down.
Oh, they are?
Hold on, wait, let me. Oh, now they look good. Nope.
There we go.
There you go.
So the numbers dedicate to attack, defense, and how much energy it costs to bring that character out. So Harley here, this one is 133, so it would take 1 energy to actually put her into play. And then she has an attack of 3 and a defense of 3 to play against her. Now, if I decide to play one of these, I would have to pay the 4 energy that was on her card to be able to bring her out onto the board and then be able to use her. And I don't know if you need at least 2 die.
Let me say again, we've been drinking some cold beer tonight, so
It's just slippery. It's just dice. So, where was I? I don't know if you need at least 2 dice to play per card. I'm not totally super familiar with the rules since all I've been doing is collecting them. But I don't know if you need at least 2 die to be able to play that hero within a game, or if you can have just 1 die, or the rules are set ahead of time, whether you can have the max of 4 or 3 or whatever. But I guess those are specific things that you can choose. You have the Batarang, which are these gray and black, and they have these little burst damages on them that coordinate go along with the card's ability. If those bursts come up, they cause some specific, either more damage or whatever. Matt's favorite for his super favorite superhero that's kind of worthless, Aquaman.
it's upside down.
It doesn't matter.
I can tell by the upside down symbol because I know Aquaman.
I don't know his symbol. That's how much he means to me. You got Flash.
Nice.
That's his red die there. So
Those are sweet.
So Dan, how many cards do you have in all?
I've got a lot.
Oh.
I didn't count them, but I have a bunch.
You got
I'm just
quite a
going through a few, like Green Lantern, and all of them are different colored and have their specific symbols on them. One of my favorites.
So
is
each
this
character has their own die.
Okay.
Joker.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because you actually lay the die on the card when you're playing.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be able to do that. And then we have Wonder Woman. I have Arrow, Lex Luthor. You know, there's a ton of different heroes within it. So even superheroes I've never heard of. So we've shown you the cards. We've shown you those. You have these little specific spots, which are color coordinated cards, like so. Red, blue, green, and purple. And these coordinate with 2 powers that you have to select at the beginning of the game that you're going to use with that person. That card then lays upon this here, like so. Not the superhero. This would be a power. I don't have a power out to show you. And then the dice would lay across the top on the red here. And those dice are these right here. So I'll show you a few on there. I know it's sideways and stuff. But
Now,
And those are called what?
these are power die. So
Power die,
again,
okay.
if you have a power, it has a specific amount of energy to pay to be able to bring one of these dice into the game to play. At the beginning of the game, you have 8 die that look like these. These are little white die. Okay? Little
those are called?
these are just regular energy die. The little pawn
Energy die.
stands for a sidekick. That's a hero. That's so you can bring that guy out into the field of battle. The shield, of course, is an energy. The punch is an energy. And again, the goggles are an energy. And the lightning are an energy. Okay? And those are specified on the card saying it needs 4 energy, plus one of them has to be this specific energy to be able to pull that out. This is bad. I keep looking over to my other monitor when I should be staring at the camera. Sorry, my Skype was over here.
He gets confused with 2 monitors. He
The
doesn't.
other one is the question mark right there. and that is a freebie, kind of like a wild card for energy. You can use it for any specific one you have. You have a little bag that has eight of these dice in it. You pull 4 die out and you roll those. That's your first move. So they're going to roll as whatever they are. You can use them as pawns. You can use them as energy to start bringing die into the game. You have a chance to re-roll all of these or partial amount of these to get what specifically you're looking for, or more pawns or something specific like that. Once you're done rolling, then you start spinning these die. So the pawns you can push out into the field, which they'll go into the field of battle, which can be used right away to attack.
So
when it
basically,
gets
you use the
attacked.
sidekicks as a human shield.
You can, yeah. It's always good to have some defense because they'll absorb, like, say, Aquaman here has an attack of 2 and a defense of 3. And my pawn is only a 1/1. He'll kill the pawn and get rid of it, but the damage won't come through to me. The pawn will absorb it all, just like in Magic.
Right,
If you throw
yeah,
something
yeah.
in front of it, it'll stop it. So,
Like Hearthstone and that kind of stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The energy, of course, rolls out, and then you select from the hero die to bring into the game, which can't come straight into the game. It goes into a ready bin to be rolled next time. But it's bought, and now it's going to be playable next time you're able to pull die and put them back in the bag. So you've rolled the 4, you've gotten energy, you've gotten pawns, whatever. You've bought a die, you've brought it into the game. It gets to your second turn, you have 4 die left in the bag because you can't put the other back in yet. You roll those 4. That gives you energy and pawns, whatever. You're able to buy more die, do what you need to. That goes into a pile. It gets to your third turn. You have no dice left in your bag. Everything that's in this ready area now gets swooped up and put into the bag, shaken, and then you pull out 4 die and go. So your heroes don't come straight into the game. They can't. Because you just don't have the dice to pull them out right away, unless a power specifically says they can come onto the field of play. Everything just goes into the bag. Then you pull out 4 die each round, and that's what you use, unless you have powers that allow you to pull out more die. And then you move them into the field, and then you move them into the attack phase. The person has a block phase. If damage goes through, if it doesn't, they can be KO'd, which moves them to the KO'd section. They get put back into the play. They don't really die. They just get put back into play later on. There's a whole mat that is laid out that has all these specified with arrows pointing in different directions of how the dice move on the board.
Do you have that?
No, I don't. You have to buy them separately. They don't come with the kits or anything like that. So yeah, they have super mats that have all this information laid out for you, so you can kind of follow the steps of how to play. And then at the bottom it has a line of 20 hit points is what you have. And so you go through those 20 hit points, you're dead, you're out of the game. And of course, all the superheroes have a bunch of powers. What was cool though is I saw that in 2015 they had one. I guess they had nationals already. I didn't know this game was out long enough for nationals, but the guy was playing like 6 superheroes and 2 Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the same team.
Whoa.
So he's using like Puzzle Box and Blue Eyes White Dragon or whatever it is from Yu-Gi-Oh, the main thing they always talk about, was in the team along with his 8 characters that he had selected. So they were part of his 18. So that's where the mix and match comes. If you just decide you want to buy D&D, it's fine. I can still play against you with all these dice because the white die and the power die are all the same. It doesn't matter. It's just your hero die change, and that's all.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
they said it's all. They said with,
yeah, it's all interchangeable, so it doesn't
All
matter.
meshes.
yeah, they
Yeah,
said
that's
it's.
cool.
They said a lot of people limit. From what I was reading up, saying that they set their own rules to where you can't. They won't allow because they did say that there's some like D&D characters or there's some D&D characters that are pretty overpowered. So
Well, tournament
limit it.
rules and league rules they don't limit you. You're able to
okay.
use whatever. Yeah, the 2015 national thing I was watching, they had Yu-Gi-Oh, Marvel, and DC characters all mixed together playing.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
I mean, house rules. If you wanted to decide everybody can only play DC, that's up to you. But
Yeah.
from everything I've seen, it doesn't matter. You're able to mix and match because it all plays the same. You know, there's powerful people and everything
Rules
like that.
mesh.
Once I was watching, when I was watching, there was it was Professor Xavier, Psylocke, Black Widow, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Puzzle Box. You know, all these different people. You have the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. You have the Age of Ultron. You have Yu-Gi-Oh, all mixed together, running their team. And these guys were pulling like a
awesome.
ton of die out. I mean, they were getting a bunch of stuff. I don't know how they were doing that because, again, I haven't really played this game. I've just gotten it and started learning it.
Yeah.
But I like collecting this stuff, so that's kind of why I got into it. But
Well, it's really cool that they've got all the different universes that you could play within the universe if you want,
Yeah.
or you can branch out and play other people who have other characters and
Well,
mix and match, and that's really cool. These mesh.
yeah, I mean
Yep.
a lot like HeroClix, how they have different, DC and Marvel, and then other ones
They
too.
just-
And you
but
could,
yeah,
if you wanted to, mix them all together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to play, but I know HeroClix is more important about locking down, hey, we have a DC HeroClix, we have a Marvel. So if you ever wanted to play DC versus Marvel and nobody else will do it, you can at least do it in Dice Masters. So
It would be
they got
pretty
nice little-
cool,
There you
like
go.
one person play DC, one person play
Right.
Marvel.
yeah,
That's cool,
it's still
yeah.
better. Yeah, that's the little collector box I bought along with it, but it's already full of just stuff and tons of
I mean,
cards.
let's see inside. Let's open it up. There it is, ladies and
These are all-
gentlemen.
these are all
He's never
cards.
played one game, but yet
All
he's
the-
got the
yeah.
whole set.
That is very cool.
I've got a crap ton of those. There's still a lot of rares and the super rares I haven't gotten.
So
And then
is
I've
there
got
any?
a stack of X-Men, Uncanny X-Men as well.
So is there any series, or is this the first series, second series? Do you know?
I
Like,
think
is
the
it going
first
like in
one, a lot of people
like,
talked about
heroes and then villains and then?
Oh, there's villains in all of them.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about if it has WizKids grouped them into series like seasons or anything like that.
Not that I've
I
seen.
mean, no. First few that came out was like X-Men versus whatever it was. X-Men versus something. I forget the whole set. X-Men versus Marvel. I forget. Anyways, it was their set. Then there was the Dice Masters only has Justice League right now, but they're going to bring War of Light, so it has all the Green
Mhm.
Lantern settings. Dungeons and Dragons only has one out right now. Yu-Gi-Oh only has one out right now, and then you have Age of Ultron that's out right now for the movie for the Marvel side, and then Uncanny X-Men as well. So there's like 3 or 2 sets for Marvel, 1 set for DC, 1 for Yu-Gi-Oh, 1 for D&D right now. And I don't know if all of them can at the same time. I didn't pay attention to that. I just was like, hey, these look cool. I'll buy these. Game sounds
When
really
when
fun.
you're playing, just real quick, like is it like Magic or HeroClix where if my defense is 3 and your attack is 2, then you don't kill me, but I take 2, like my defense is then reduced to 1?
For that round, but I mean, it goes back up, just like in
Yeah,
Magic.
yeah. You
Magic
don't get
doesn't
killed, you
keep
get
the defense
knocked out.
down. Yeah,
In this game, you don't get killed, you get knocked out. So your character goes to the knockout aisle, and then you can redraw him next time.
as long as you did not break their defense. So Green Lantern is 4 attack with 2 defense, and who's somebody that can't hurt him?
If your attack is equal or greater than their defense, then
Yeah.
you knock them out that round.
Okay.
So yeah,
The
her attack is
attacker-
1.
The attacker is resolved first before.
Yeah,
the
it's not going to matter as long as it didn't take him out. He's still on the board. But
Right.
well, now that depends. There are rules for each of these die, so I don't have the mat. But if on the mat it says if specific character was blocked this round, he stays in play, or if character was unblocked, he goes into the unused pile
Right.
and it gets
Right,
re-rolled
there are
back into the
exceptions to
bag,
rules, but-
and then they
Right.
come back out once the bag is empty of dice, so they're able to come back into play in a different way. There's only specific situations leave the characters in the field, and then they only move up to attack and then move back to the field, and that's kind of where they hang out at in both those areas.
What's the
And then
bag
you
look like?
resolve. Do what?
What's the bag look like?
Oh, it's just I don't know,
like
it's
an
not a
envelope.
very it's nothing fancy. It's just I mean, it's stronger than like a paper bag at least,
Yeah.
but it's still
What's the?
little fiber bag kind of thing. It's nothing fancy. I'd rather get those little soft
Yeah,
bags.
velvet,
She wants to go get a
Yeah,
bottle
velvet.
of Crown Royal.
Yeah, Crown Royal.
There you go.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But yeah, the bags aren't this. But I mean, I haven't had to play anybody, so I don't mind keeping it like that. It's no big deal. But everything's resolved on the field. So when you have an attack begin, some characters have, if this character's blocked, he now can knock out a character blocking another target or something like that. So those all will be resolved. Then the damage is resolved. Then everybody's moved off the field, and then those characters move back from the attack form if they can and come back to the field. And the rest go to the KO area, or they go to the used pile to come back into the game at a later date. And what you're trying to do is get more die in the game, because these superheroes have energy on them, which give you more energy. There's 2 shields on that, so you get a Wonder Woman and 3 of these. Now you're rolling a little bit higher because all these are just 1 energy on either side. The superheroes start bringing in more energy, so then you have one character that can come in at like 4 energy, but you have some bigger ones that have to wait till some of those dice get on the board and start playing, so you can bring in like a Green Lantern who's a 6, so stuff like that.
So
cool.
So let's talk about like rares versus commons. How many Harley Quinns do you have, for example?
I didn't look. I probably got 3 or 4.
Okay, do the rares come with dice that are different?
No,
than the
dice are the same for all the heroes. So no matter if you have a rare card or a common card, you can use the same dice for the same people.
Okay.
So the special abilities on the rares are better?
That's what I'm about to look real quick. So
the one thing I know for sure is that I can't wait for HooperCon. Because we're going to be playing some Dice Masters. I tell you.
Well, what about, dude, we've got Dragon Con in less than a month.
Yeah, I'm bringing this stuff with me.
I'm bringing all my stuff.
I'm bringing all my stuff. I don't have any, but...
He's like, I got a
stuff, but I'm bringing every bit of it.
So Black Canary on her common card, or sorry, this is her uncommon. When fielded, no sidekicks can block this turn, meaning that when she is fielded on the battle, she comes into play, not into attack mode, just onto the field. No pawns can block. Now this goes, or no sidekicks can block, which goes for your side as well. That's not just for your opponent. It stops all sidekicks from blocking. Her super one, or her big one, is once she attacks, she picks somebody. If she pays an energy, she removes that blocker from the game. So each version has different abilities per the character. So, if you wanted to use Harley Quinn's uncommon, or her rare, or her if she has a super rare, or whatever. So, yeah, there's just, all different versions of them at each of those levels, which is cool because, like, they were using a lot of Black Widow at that tournament I was watching, and they were all uncommons. They weren't like rare cards. They're just, because it's just the ability. Her ability was when she comes to the field or comes into attack, even if she's blocked, she automatically deals 2 damage to the player, no matter what. It's just an automatic 2 damage to the player. It doesn't matter. So everybody was running her. So yeah, they were just like, why not run her? So it's just a very awesome power for, a cheap die to come into play. So yeah, there you go.
Well, I tell you what we can do, since we, we none of us have played it. We're kind of unclear on some of the specifics. We can link the WizKids actual tutorial video.
Yeah.
In our comments.
Yes, we will.
There's actually a lot of really good. There's a guy I watch, a board game guy that I watched that had he's the one I learned the best from, and I can't remember his name, but he plays a game with his son, a tournament version, and then they're just house rules where they had everybody on BoardGameGeeks.com pick their teams, and he does such a great job of explaining board games. Very slow, explains everything out that's going on. Does a really, really good job. So there are excellent videos out there.
So you probably should have just watched that video instead of this one.
Well, I mean, I'm just showing you what I know. Like, there's all my DC die.
Oh, nice. Where'd you get the box?
Oh, that's from my Dragon Ball Z cards.
Okay.
Stole it from there.
Oh man, I remember those days rolling up in the DBZ card tournament. Dan's the ringer. Coming in, taking kids out left and right.
I don't think that ever happened.
Well, we did go to a DBZ tournament.
And I did bat 500 in that one, so that was good enough, I guess. Anyway, so that's Dice Masters.
So that's Dice Masters.
Awesome.
We'll
I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, absolutely. We will have more video of it when we play it at DragonCon. So hopefully by then we'll know a little bit more. But in the meantime, go watch the other videos that we have linked in the description below. And while you're there, why don't you click that subscribe button? Why don't you click the subscribe button so you can see
the subscribe button and describe what we just did.
Subscribe to us. YouTube.com/nerdpunch, of course, is the URL to see all the other great videos that we put up. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. All of those /nerdpunch as well. And, of course, nerdpunch.com to see all the other cool and nerdy things we're checking out online. It's also a good place to check our schedule to see what videos we have coming up next. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Later. See ya.